think I got it, right? Yeah, I got it. God, uh, my confession is yours. But who am I if I gotta go to war? There we go. Are we good? We should be all good. Should be all good. Hey, what's good, Nep? What's going on? How we doing? Hold on, give me a second, guys. Let me make sure. God, my confession is yours. But who am I if I gotta go to war? There's opportunity when dealing with loss. I discover myself while I fall short. Okay, there we go. Can we hear and see me? Are we good? Can we hear and see me? Let me know. One in the chat. So we can get this ball rolling. We're good. Awesome. I love that. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Excellent. All right. Philip or Nep, either of you, or both of you, that works too. Please go to the group chat. Let the boys know I'm here. Let's get this started. Let's do this. You guys know why I'm here. For those of you that are, already fans of the channel and believers in what I do, you already know what I'm here for. I am Jace the Pickup Scientist. I'm the guy you come to ask all these different questions about dating, relationships, and even the weird stuff like your spirituality, neuro-linguistic programming, conversational hypnosis. I'm the guy you come to. Last live, we were talking about meditation, weren't we? I think we're going to talk about meditation some more here. I'm usually hesitant to talk about, the more intricate stuff, especially the stuff that has to do with controlling the unconscious mind. But we'll go ahead and touch on that. But I do want to focus a lot on pickup, dating, girls, all that good stuff, because that is indeed what this channel is for. A lot of men out there are struggling, and I'm the guy you come to for help. That's what these lives are for. So let's get it started. I'm gonna put on my trusty scientist glasses, not for any real reason except for the fact that I forgot my shades. Can you imagine that? The one time I got the sun in my face and I forgot my actual shades upstairs. But fuck it, it is what it is. We ball. There's these bugs out here flying around. I don't know what they're called, but they're very small and they're very cute. And they might fly into the car from time to time, but it's all good. But yeah, let's get this started. How does teasing and negging show you're a biologically significant event? Well, it's because of what it does in her body. It's a tension thing. When you tell a girl something that she is not expecting to hear, especially from you, when she is challenged on especially her looks, her social status, usually one of those two, then it kind of increases her heart rate a little bit because she now has to defend herself from falling short of social status glory. You know what I mean? Women are very in tune with where they rank in, society in terms of, how they rank against their own friends, how other people see them. It's why they're obsessed with stuff like Instagram, right? They're very concerned with what they're able to get away with from a social validation point of view. And whenever you tell them or hint at them that they're not able to get away with the things they think they can, it's a big cause of concern for them. And that's why it's a biologically significant event, because it threatens what they see as both their chances of survival, because social status is directly linked to your survival, obviously, and then also their chances of replication, the chances of passing their genes on to the next generation. If they're so low on the social rung, what guy would want to be with them? Or at least that's their evolutionary logic to it. You feel me? What does NLP achieve? I would say the best use of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, for anyone that doesn't know what that means, the best use of neuro-linguistic programming is understanding yourself and other people. Like, before you even get into like the actual use of language to program people, the actual use of language to, directly message the subconscious mind without any conscious filtering, before you get into all that, it's really just understanding how it is that we absorb information as human beings. Because a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions around how that works. If you understand how people absorb information, it begins to make sense how you should communicate to them effectively, right? A lot of the ways that people think is effective for communication is actually dog shit. Like, it'll achieve that momentary elation, that dopamine spike of, oh, I feel nice and understood. I feel like this person that's speaking to me is relating to me. But in the long run, it doesn't really leave any real impact. The best way to speak to people, and you learn this from NLP, is you speak directly to their subconscious mind. That's how you do it. You want to be the person whose message they remember a year from now, even though they might not appreciate it in the first few months or even the first time they hear it, as opposed to the person who they resonate with in the first month, but then they forget about you a year from now. You know, that's at least what I picked up from NLP. Not first, but number 20. Haha, fair enough. You can't be first every day, Fish Army. But welcome. Nerdy Jace is back. Indeed, I am the scientist. That's how you know that he about to cook. Indeed, I do intend to cook today, for sure. I often overthink the things you teach me when I'm in field and default to validating how to deal with overthinking. So this is the way I teach my students. You want to focus on one thing at a time. The best way to learn game is to take it in small incremental steps. You focus on tension first, then you focus on validation and the distribution of it, and then you focus on value and the demonstration of that. So I'm even saying these things like you could break tension down in a few things. So first, observe tension. You're not going to try to get the girl, try to convince her of anything, try to game her, nothing. You're just going to have a conversation with the girl, and you're going to try to be aware of where the tension is and why you feel it and why she feels the tension with you, because of what was said in the conversation, what was done in the conversation, etc. You're going to understand how to observe the conversation in terms of like where the tension spikes go. Then you're going to use some more conversations, some more interactions with women to practice the actual ignition of tension, as in how to make it happen. It's funny, I'm talking about tension right now. I have an entire series that I'm putting out right now as we speak about tension. So if you haven't seen it, go watch that. It's very useful stuff, and in my opinion, the foundation of game. Game is essentially the ability to why is English hard for me today? This is what happens when I stay on the phone with my family back in Nigeria. English just becomes a little harder. Tension is the ability to manipulate. Game is the ability to manipulate tension. Right? I gotta get my language shit together right now. Game is the ability to manipulate tension. Everything you're doing, from when you meet the girl for the first time to when you get her phone number, when you text her, when you get her to see you in person again on a date, when you eventually get naked with her. Everything, all those different processes is really just a manipulation of tension. She has to feel tension around you so that her attraction spikes up, so that her urgency goes up, and as a result, so that she can make decisions that are compliant to you. Right? So game is really just manipulating tension in women and how they feel it, and using yourself and the validation you give them as the ultimate relief from the tension they feel around you. That's really what game is. All right, so learn those small pieces. Learn tension, then you go over to validation, understand where the validation is in every given situation, how to observe it, how to give it, how to retract it, all that good stuff. Then you go into value, and this is where, when you put those three things together, game really becomes so fucking easy. It's so dope. So just focus on one thing at a time. I always tell people, stop trying to get the girl the very first girl you meet. Like, it's not gonna happen like that. Imagine trying to, shoot 23s in a row on your very first day practicing basketball. Like, it's not gonna happen like that. You got to go in and work on your form even without a basketball. Like, just work on learning how to move correctly to shoot a jump shot. That's probably day one, or just maybe even just wrist motion, right? Take it in small steps like that, and then you'll be better in the field as you go. All right, you're overthinking because you got all these different things to worry about. If you just narrow your focus, you'll be fine. Is it harder to escalate with a girl that has little experience, like 1 to 3 body count? I don't know about harder per se. It's not harder in terms of like making them, turning them on, sexual escalation. It's just trickier because they have no experience, so they don't know how to go into the dance with you. Sexual escalation is like dancing tango, and it takes two to tango, right? The other person, your dance partner, has to know to some degree what the next step is so they can follow you into it. If it's a girl with less experience, you have to manually bring her into the dance with you. You have to literally give her clear, definitive, overt instructions on what needs to happen next so that she can come along with you. That's the only hard thing about it, really. It's just the fact that you have to break the rule of game and, bring it from the covert and subtle world into the overt and direct world. That's really it. Let's see. What role does risk-taking play in the whole tension stuff? So, risk-taking ability is what creates tension to begin with. Without your ability to take risk, you're not going to be able to create tension. Because the things you have to do to create tension in a conversation with a woman puts you, and frankly her, in an awkward situation. In a less than ideal position. To go from talking to a girl in a casual manner to where, you end up in the friend zone or something, to, for instance, sexually escalating, that's a risk. Like, you guys know what I'm talking about. You ever text a girl and you're texting a girl and everything's going cool back and forth, and you now know that it's time to make that massive jump from just texting back and forth casually to I want to show some kind of interest in her sexually. And you got to send that risky text. You see what I'm saying? We even call it that, the risky text. Oh, you got to send her the risky text. Because now you have to create tension. You have to say something in the text that lets her know that you're essentially plopping your balls on the table. That's a risky thing to do, because you risk rejection every time you do something like that, right? And that's where the tension comes from, and that's why you need risk-taking ability to create tension. Do you believe people can heal themselves? Absolutely. That's what we all do. Like, I was talking about this with my girl the other day too. That's so funny. So, all healing is self-healing, if you really think about it. All healing is self-healing. And I'm talking about physical healing, spiritual healing, psychological, emotional healing. Ultimately, the only person that can heal you is yourself. If you look at it from a medical point of view, the human body is literally designed to heal itself. There is no such thing as a cure, or at least not in the way we think of cures. Like, a lot of people think of cure as in the medicine going into your body and the medicine, alleviating your body of whatever sickness you're taking it for. In reality, that's not how cures work. Cures go into your body, and what they do is they find ways to enhance certain parts of your lymphatic system, your immune system, and other stuff like that to boost it against whatever virus or bacteria it's trying to fight. That's what medicines do. They're helpers to your body's natural way of healing. Does that make sense? When you put methylated spirit on a wound, right? If you're Nigerian, you know what methylated spirit is. If you put iodine, I think is what Americans use. If you put iodine and Gorilla Glue on a wound, and then the wound closes up over the course of a week or 2 weeks or whatever, it's not the iodine that did that. Your body did that. All the iodine did was assist your body in achieving that goal. Right? So all healing is self-healing, and that same exact principle applies to emotions and psychological trauma and all that kind of stuff. You have to be the healer. You have to heal. If at all you get the help of, teachers and therapists and psychologists and whoever the fuck you get your help from, all they can do is help you in the process, but it's you that facilitates the process, whether you realize it or not. Does that make sense? They can only do so much to guide you in the right direction, but you got to take the fucking steps. Right? Even with my practice, what do you think I do? You think I'm literally, we have to say things like this to, for the sake of English and grammar and making sure everyone understands. But am I really making you better at game, or am I just helping you get out of your own way? Let's really be honest. Because if you really think about it on the biological level, you knew game already before you came into this world. You understood it on a very primal level. But society and women and all these other different factors around you and the environment you grew up in shamed you into forgetting about it, into not doing those things. And like we're talking about risk-taking ability right now. It's a risk to walk up to a woman in the street and say hi. But who told you that's supposed to be risky, though? Who made that a bad thing? Society, the environment, women did. That's how you got shamed into thinking it's a bad thing, but it's not really a fucking bad thing. So you don't have approach anxiety because you're just scared of women or the consequences of approaching a woman. You have approach anxiety because it was put there by someone else. Someone else made you forget that you had the boldness to walk up to someone you don't know and create a relationship of consequence from out of thin air. So really, I'm not even a teacher. I'm a reminder. You see what I'm saying? So I say Owen said something very similar once. Of course he did, because Owen is a G. Shout out to Owen Cook. He knows what he's talking about. Owen is like one of the most important people in the history of my industry. So shout out to him. Shout out to RSD. Shout out to all those guys. As you can see, some questions came up. Indeed. Let's see. Jace out here like, are you Gojo Satoru because you're the strongest? Or are you the strongest because you're Gojo Satoru? That's a very good way to put it. Yeah, it's essentially the same question, right? It's the same question, but for the game, for game related, right? So yeah, it's true though. You're already as powerful as you'll ever need to be. I keep telling people, you're not fucking Naruto. Actually, Naruto's a bad example. You're not Goku, right? You're not trying to achieve new levels of power. That's not the game here. You have all the power already. I'm just the guy that helps you remove all the fucking layers, like the seal. It's like Naruto. You're trying to help. I'm trying to help you unlock the seal a little more so you can let some of that chakra out in a way that it doesn't hurt you or others in the process, right? You're like Superman. You already had all the power when you landed on Earth. You just forgot, and someone told you, your earthly parents, shout out to them, they did a good job raising you, but they told you that you needed to eat on a daily basis to survive. But you're Kryptonian. You don't fucking need food. You need the sun, that's it. Too strong to have it all, too weak to take it. Type shit, exactly, type shit. That's why, again, I have to be careful what I teach you guys. We were talking about this yesterday, right? For those of you that were on the live yesterday, when someone was like, you gotta hold back so much because of the stuff you know. Yes, I do, because I don't want you guys to hurt yourself. It's a lot of chakra you guys hold. It's a lot of power you hold. I want you to understand that, like, a lot of fucking power you hold, especially over women. And it would be very irresponsible of me to just give you all that power and let you go and run amok. I have to be, like, I'm saying that primarily because of me. I saw myself go crazy with the power. And Lord knows I hurt people and myself in the process. I don't want you guys to have to go through that shit. That's painful. That's unnecessary, avoidable pain. All right, so I gotta be careful. I have a responsibility as a teacher. You feel me? We all got a Kurama in ourselves, and society said, nah, Kurama bad. Literally, yes. Everyone has their own giant chakra beast sealed within them. But society told you, no, it's bad. And I get why society did it, Like, you don't want a society full of reckless men just using their power recklessly. I get that. At the same time, though, I don't think the solution to that problem is suppress the men. I think the solution is teach them how to use the power so they don't hurt other people in the process. If you teach men how to use the power correctly, especially the power we hold over women, we won't have as many wars and intersectionality and gender wars and all these crazy things we're going through right now if every man just, didn't use their power recklessly. But you gotta let them know what they have the power to begin with, I don't care about hurting others though. Exactly. That's the point. That's why I gotta be careful. That's why nice drift. That's why I gotta be careful. Sigmund Freud spoke on that in the Civilization and Discontents 10 out of 10 book. I haven't read that one, to be honest, but I will check it out. Let's see. Why do men pretend or change their personalities when dealing with women? Because it's easier. That's really it. It's easy. I literally had an ideological battle with someone on TikTok not so long ago about this very thing. A lot of men live a lie because it's easier. It's easier to be the male feminist. It's easier to say you support, fucking abortions and whatever the new feminine topic is. It's easier to say you give a fuck about Palestine or Israel. I'm a real G. I can very boldly say I don't give a fuck about both because I know neither of them care about me. That's the point. It's not as easy to just be honest like that. Most men cannot deal with the consequences that come with being honest. The backlash, the people disagreeing with you, again, society and the environment wagging their finger, telling you no. But if you're crazy enough, like I am, you don't give a fuck about any of that, because look at society. How many people are really in a position to tell you what to do? I don't got this shit together. Let's be honest. With meditation and visualization or breathing exercises. What are we talking about? Oh, like that was the continuation of people healing themselves. But yeah, those are all good tools to use if you want to heal yourself from anything. Meditation, breathing, deep, work in terms of like, I have a friend in my life that has been raving about. I haven't read this book myself, but he said I should read it. The Shadow Work Journal, I believe. It was big on TikTok at one point. But yeah, all these things are cool. Use them. Use all the tools available to you. Be careful though. You don't want to invite. How do I say this? You don't want to invite foreign energies or spirits into your life by accident. You'd be surprised the different portals you open when you begin to go deeper into yourself. But if you do it smart enough and well enough, you should be on your way to massive restoration and healing. Let's see. Oluwa Jamal is crazy. What do you mean he had to get prepared to do it for the POA middleweight title? Hey, it's funny because I'm dreading cutting down to 185 soon because I got a tournament lined up, guys. It's happening. I gotta cut down to 185. I hate weight cuts, dude. I fucking hate weight cuts. If I had my way, weight cuts would be illegal. But if I don't, I'm gonna be fighting guys that are 220. If I fight at my walk around weight. So yeah, I gotta be a weight bully. Everyone's doing it. Fuck it. Gotta be a weight bully. And it's jiu-jitsu, so a lot of these guys are fucking juicing up. The steroids, the EPOs, the this, the that. I'll cheat too, fuck it. But I'm not putting any of that dumb shit in my body. The most I'll do is IV. I'll go the Islam Makhachev route. That is the most I'll do. It's fine though. It's legal in my sport, so it's all good, baby. Hell in the Cell. That's funny. Do you have any books for NLP? Introduction to NLP is a great place to start, honestly. And here's another weird thing to do. If you really want to watch NLP at work, there's two people I want you to watch. They're some of the best practitioners. Actually, three. There's three people I really think are the best practitioners in recent years. Anthony Robbins, he uses NLP for all his speeches. When you combine reading the book Introduction to NLP with watching Anthony Robbins tapes and videos, and you'll begin to see yo, this guy's a fucking genius for how he uses it. Then watch President Barack Obama. He was a fucking expert at using all his major speeches are riddled with NLP. I'm not even kidding. It's fucking literally go on YouTube, type in Barack Obama NLP. Something should pop up. You'll see, and then hopefully someone breaks it down for you. Prisoner versus Predator types in The Boys. Oh, we'll talk about that too. But yeah, the third person has to be Darren Brown. So Darren Brown, I highly doubt if you're not British, you know this person. But Darren Brown is the real world, real life mentalist that was the inspiration for that one character in Now You See Me. For those of you that seen the movie Now You See Me, you know the one character that Woody Allen, I believe, plays. The mentalist, the guy who does the hypnosis, the guy who does the weird mind tricks and reading people's minds and facial expressions. That's who Darren Brown is in real life. And he has many amazing magic shows. And my favorite would be The Art of Robbery. Obviously, that's the first one I ever saw. And Enigma. Go and watch his show Enigma. But make sure you couple it with NLP books so you know what the fuck is going on. You can catch it. You're about to be in a world you've never been in before, but good luck. Shout out to Darren Brown, though. And Tony Robbins and Barack Obama. Let's see. Pingu Chokeslam Jace side B. What? That's crazy. I would never fall for a choke slam because I would immediately go into a scissor kick to reverse that shit. Immediately. How do you get women to get you more women? How do you introduce all your girls to each other? So, there's a few ways to do that. The first question is easier to answer though. Getting women to get you more women has to do with the way you frame the relationship from the jump. So the expectations have to be set from the jump. If you try to do it like, oh, I'm gonna get with this girl, I'm gonna give her this monogamous vibe, and then I'm gonna try to get her to set me up with her friend, you're not gonna go too far. If at all you go far, you're gonna build resentment. The best way to do it is to begin to make jokes and teases about that kind of stuff from the very jump. I was like on the first fucking 2 or 3 dates, the first 2 or 3 dates, you're already making jokes about that waitress over there, like you're in a coffee shop or something. You think she's cute? Do you find her attractive? Like, your personal opinion. Okay. Like, literally start gauging, first of all, her affinity for other women. Like, that's important. That's an important part of it. And then her compliance towards you. Her willingness to chase your validation to the ends of the earth is what will make her want to impress you by bringing fresh kill to you. Does that make sense? So it has to start from that point. Like, set the frame. You're the kind of girl that I see as my helping mate. Then you wrap it all up in this beautiful bow, which is making her feel special. And this is how that works. You make her feel like she is damn near irreplaceable to you because of her ability to do that for you. That just adds fire into the whole situation. It's like a fucking burning furnace, right? So you make her feel like, I've met this girl, I've met that girl, I have all this experience with women, but damn, you're so special because not only can you do this for me, bring new girls into my life, but you know my type. And that's something you probably want to start repeating to her. You know my type. You're very aware of what kind of girls I like. You know how to vet the girls that you want to bring to me. I appreciate that. And then that'll just make her want to impress you more. So and again, be careful with this part, because if you tell her you like big booty bitches, that's all she's gonna bring to you. If you get tired of big booty bitches, you gotta let her know. Like, you know what, I'm feeling more like a model skinny type chick these days. And then you let her, you send off your fucking pit bull, and she'll drag the fresh kill back to you. And then from there, it's just a matter of, take and pick, choose. It's pretty easy from there. But again, make sure you get that first part down. The framing is the most important part. I'm gonna have a speech soon in front of 300 people. Do you know? Oh no. Thanks for the gift net, but you kind of took someone else's message away. I saw a pinned comment, but it's gone now. There we go, Asami. In front of 300 people, do you know any books I could read to help me? No. I would tell you to watch every TEDx talk you can before that. Every fucking TEDx talk you can. Like, as many. Be 100% focused on nothing but watching TEDx talks. Because here's the thing. In the amount of time you have to, wow the people that you're about to talk in front of, the 300 people or so, you don't have time to be learning theory. You need to get as much practice in you as possible. Pause. So you need to learn via osmosis. Watch as many speeches as possible, and then as you go, you'll be inspired by certain things. You'll want to copy certain things, and it'll help you out. But watch as many speeches as possible. Yeah, feel me? Let's see. Ryu cashes in the money in the bank. That's funny, because you would. Those old Tony vids is where he talks about lane anchors and state control. That's NLP, right? Yes. Tony used, I don't know how he's doing these days in terms of like the way he teaches. I know he's begun to like water it down a little more because his demographic is older people, so a lot of his events are really just trying to hype people up and give them young people energy again. But back when he was young and reckless like me, he would literally just give entire NLP speeches on how to use NLP to change the way you're thinking about things. Because I think that's the biggest superpower NLP gives you. It's changing the way you perceive things fundamentally. And honestly, like this sounds like a bold ass fucking claim, right? For anyone to make. But I really believe studying NLP like makes your IQ jump a good 10 points. I'm not even kidding. Because it really does teach you the basis of intelligence. What it takes to be a divergent person in your thinking. Does that make sense? Like, the average person doesn't know how to think. Let's be honest. The average person doesn't really know how to extract information from anything they learn or absorb, and they don't know how to use that information correctly because they don't know how to see that information from multiple different angles. They're not multidimensional beings in their perspective. NLP teaches you how to do that. So yeah, it's very important. Can we get a review on the new versus old Tony Robbins 1 out of 10? He's always been a 10 out of 10 guy. I don't think it's like a difference per se. It's like the older people get, the more they focus in on what they believe is the most important thing they have to do. Tony just discovered as he got older that his purpose in life is to give people hope. And that's what he sells, really. He sells hope, he sells energy, and he sells a brand new way of looking at the world so it alleviates people of stress and tension. That's really it. That's what he does. That's what he does best. He's the best in the world at it. Yes, I left the live for a second. How dare you leave the live for a second? What's NLP? Neuro-linguistic programming. It's a beautiful tool for learning a new model of thinking. Let's see. When you catch it, I already read that one. What would you No, I didn't. What would you say is the difference in demonstrating value and inducing tension? There's not much of a difference. There's actually a massive overlap, I would say. But one has more to do with showing that you are a source of validation, and the other triggers her into chasing your validation. It's a slight difference, and there is a difference, but not much of a difference to even like bother about. For now, you're more than welcome to see the two things as the same thing. Really, there's massive overlap there. Before I forget, give me those 9 definitions of notes. Okay, game, the ability to manipulate tension. That's probably the most important one. Game, the ability to completely incorporate a new woman into your life from scratch, preferably from scratch. Game, your ability to demonstrate social calibration at the highest levels. Game, your ability to create win-win situations with women in every single situation. How many is that? 4. I'll give you one more before I have to go. Which other one? Game. Do I want to give that one right now? Okay. Game. Your ability to demonstrate value in a way that balances out with comfort in the long run. Right? So value versus comfort. That's, I would say, the 5 biggest ones. All right, good, because I was just about to be completely confused. All right, good. I'm happy I cleared it up for you. Is there a way to speed up the comfort building process front end? And can it take longer with some girls than others in the front end? Okay, the comfort building. So, I want to answer that question. But you know me. You know how I am. You know how I work. I'm more concerned with the mindset you have for asking that question. Why do you want to speed it up? That's my question. Why do you want to speed up the comfort building phase? Because here's the thing. If you create good enough comfort to match with the value you have, it helps you in the long run. So why speed it up? Why are you trying to speed it up? Do you hate comfort building? Because it's not a bad thing, and it's honestly one of the more enjoyable parts of game. Where you begin to become human with the girl, where she begins to understand who you are on a deeper level. That's fun. That's a fun ass part of the game. Why would you want to speed that part up? See, I had to say that to let you catch yourself in trying to, be hasty. Stop being hasty. It's okay. Don't try to go for fool's mate. It's okay. Just chill out. Build the comfort. Do it correctly. Comfort is supposed to take long. Yes, comfort is actually the longest stage. That's the funny thing. If you look at the mystery method model, there's the attraction, comfort, seduction. Attraction is honestly, on average, 3 to 10 minutes. Seduction is around the same, maybe even less if you Kino escalate correctly. Comfort building is the bulk of game. Right? That's the bulk right there. That's where you have those 1.5-hour conversations. That's how it works. So, understand the expectation there and move correctly. The reason is because I feel like I'm doing something wrong when I chill like 10 hours in that stage. Okay, maybe not 10 hours. If this is in person, definitely not 10 hours. If it's over text, a combined 10 hours, maybe not a combined 10 hours, but texting over a long period of time, whatever, it's texting, you know. But Mitchell said you only need 4 to 7 hours. I know, he did, and he's right about that. But honestly, you can condense it to about 2.5, 3. The regular date will take around that long. Honestly, if you're really pushing for it, you can go for like 30, 40 minutes. But a good average is 3.5 hours. That's not bad at all. Mr. said the game is played in comfort. He's right about that. Very right about that. Let's see. If women see men as utility items, is that only for unattractive guys to them or everyone? And does that mean that women don't truly love men for men, if that makes sense? Okay, so that's a very good question. I've already answered this question in a video I made like last year, I believe. But yes, ultimately all men to women are utility. All men to women are utility. The difference between the guys they find attractive and how they use them versus the guy they don't find attractive and how they use them is the genuine desire that's attached to it. So she is truly in love with you and is attracted to you for the utility you represent. That is the whole point of, value demonstration. That's why you have to demonstrate value. That's why you have to compete with other men. That's why, game exists the way it does. Because, value needs to be demonstrated, so she knows your value, and she, as a result, on the biological level, knows what your utility is. With that said, though, if that utility is combined with genuine desire, that is to say, attraction, she actually likes you, she actually wants to fuck you, she finds you attractive in terms of like your behavioral cues, then the utility at that point becomes two-way or open-ended. As in, they're just as willing to be used by you as as they are to use you in return. Does that make sense? As opposed to if it's close-ended, which is how they treat unattractive guys, they're only willing to use the guy. They'll fucking complain and get out of the situation when the guy in question tries to use them back. They're not okay with that. Do you see the difference? So genuine desire means I'll use him, but at least I'll get used to it and I'm okay with it. Not genuine desire means I'll use him, but the moment he tries to use me back, fuck this guy, I'm out. That's pretty much the difference. Protector versus provider types in the boys. Let's see. Who do I start with? Billy Butcher. Protector type. Pure protector type, actually. One of the purest in the show. Huey. Provider with the willingness to protect. And from what I've seen recently, it looks like he's turning. It looks like he's becoming even more of a protector type. Let's see. Starlight. Provider with the willingness to protect. I mean, not that we count women in it, but since she's a superhero, why not? Homelander, which is what I know all of you are, you're looking towards. Now, Homelander seems to be a pure protector. Especially in season 1, season 2, season 3. But with the little hints they've been giving us in season 4, the fact that he's growing gray hairs, it looks like he's waning in his ability and his powers. I want to see how he begins to behave when he's lost his powers, or when his powers weaken significantly. Because I suspect he becomes a provider type. Here's why I think so, right? Remember when he fought Billy Butcher and Huey and Soldier Boy? What season was that? Season 3? I found it very peculiar that when he began to lose, his immediate reaction was to, find his nearest exit and leave. I keep that in mind all the time, because why did he run away? It's very interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, Mother's Milk, MM. Protected with the willingness to provide. Who else is in the show? Ooh, Frenchie. Protective type. Protective type. It looks like they're slowly turning him into a protector with the willingness to provide in the last season and this one. But he starts out really as a protector type. Jace, we have a Luke Smaxer in the chat. You want to see? Oh yeah, sure, why not? Why not? Soldier Boy. Pure protector type. In fact, I would say he and Billy Butcher are the two purest protector types in the entire show. The best game is, I'm guessing is what you meant to say there, is to just be attractive. Don't chance or convince. You'll be chasing forever. Interesting. So let me put it like this. Everything you said, truly, once you break it down in parts, is correct. The problem is the mindset you have behind it. So I'll never tell you guys to chase women. In fact, I'm sure you guys have seen my videos already where I literally say do not fucking chase, right? And how do I define chasing? When she indicates interest and you keep indicating, when she indicates disinterest and you keep indicating interest afterwards, that's chasing. Don't fucking do that. That's a bad idea, all right? With that said, what is attractiveness to you? If you think attractiveness is just physical, you're fucked. You're fucked in your thinking. Because there's a lot of physically attractive guys that aren't as successful with women as you think they are. I promise you. I promise you. Granted, they may, because of their looks and aesthetics, have an easier time crossing that initial barrier to entry with women. That's fair. But they suffer even worse in the back end. Don't forget, game is 2 parts. It's not just getting her attention. That's the easy part. That's the part where your looks can help you a lot. But then there's the hard part in the back end where you actually have to be fucking interesting, right? Be exciting, be interesting. Say things and do things around her that let her know that you're the ultimate source of validation in her life. And then systematically use those things to make her chase your validation if you want to into the end of time, right? But that's what attractiveness really should be in your mind, not just that front end part. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. We got more P than Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordizzi. We get more P than Michael B. Jordan. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Again, Michael B. Jordan. Access to a lot of fucking women because of who he is. But we also have evidence the man sucks at retaining women. His back end game sucks. So does Will Smith's. So does Johnny Depp's. So does John Cena's. Good looking dudes. Rich dudes. Famous dudes. Sucky back end. Does that make sense? Drake is also there too. Sucky back end. Terrible back end. Terrible. I always tell you guys, you can always very easily judge the game of a celebrity by how the women on his level treat him. Does that make sense? There's a reason Drake can get all these Instagram models, but Rihanna spat him out. And so does Serena Williams. And fucking Ice Spice didn't want nothing to do with him. The women on his level don't seem to fuck with him. SZA has been complaining about how corny she thinks he is for years. But he can get any IG model though. But again, how impressive is that? Drake getting an IG model is like me fucking with the fucking heroin addict behind a dumpster. It's beneath me. You know what I mean? He needs the back end car. So when is it dropping? Soon, guys. Soon. Give it time. Let's see. How can I come back from this since she's lost attraction? How did you lose attraction with her? If you had it to begin with, you can get it back. But it all depends on how you lost it to begin with. That's the real question. What did you do to make her look at you and go, ugh, I don't want this one no more? What happened? Stop teasing us. Pause, of course. Pause. So can it be that a girl rejects your escalation because she doesn't know what to do? It can look like she's rejecting it. It can be that if she really just has no experience. Sure. Do you have to overtly tell a girl that it's okay to chase you? I feel like some girls don't get that we like that. Oh yeah, for sure, man. I would only do that though with girls that I would say like by the second date, you know. First date, keep it casual, whatever. But if it's a girl you like, you want to see again, that's a girl you should begin to train. Because that's training words. That's like something you should only tell women that are of consequence to you. So let them know like, hell yeah, I like that shit when you chase. Hell yeah, I like when you do this, when you do that, when you do that, when you do this. You have to tell them. They don't know. A lot of women are really convinced that they want, like men want women who are completely elusive. Granted, right? I always say anxiety has to exist in a relationship with both ends of the spectrum, right? With both the man and the woman. You both have to be motivated to want to keep each other happy, right? So there is some degree of truth to her keeping her elusiveness up. That's a good thing. However, it can't be to the point where, you know, it almost feels like she's every other girl. Because that's, when you start getting a lot of girls, this is something you'll notice. It's very funny. The more girls you get, the more you realize they really are like the same. And it's not because they fundamentally are really the same. It's because they're all absorbing the same information. They're all thinking the same thing. Like, you gotta understand, this is how every girl thinks. Like, for instance, my birthday passed very recently. All the girls in my life, the girls that are consequential to me, they all texted me happy birthday. Obviously they did, because they love me, and these are girls I've been with for years, blah, blah. They already understand my flow, my level. Now, with the girls, the outlier girls, the rotation, so to speak, here's how they all think. This is how the regular chick that's not in a relationship thinks. Oh, Jason has all these girls in his life, right? And they're all probably texting him on his birthday, right? So I want to be the special one to text him either the day before his birthday in advance, so I can be special, or the day after, belated birthday wishes, so I can also be special. That's how they think. But see, that's how they all think. So guess how many happy birthday in advance and happy belated birthday messages I got? You see my point? They all do the same thing, thinking that they're the only ones thinking like that. But they're all thinking like that. They're all thinking like that. It's the same fucking tactic they're all using. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's women for you. You gotta tell them, like, listen, yes, I like it when you chase me, and especially when it's you. Like, emphasize that. Because it's you. Because it's a girl that you find interesting and you think is special and you like to spend time with, it's even more valuable when you chase me. Yes, that's a good thing. I've been wondering why it feels like girls are so similar to each other. Yeah, right? Because they're all listening to the same fucking dating coaches and reading the same books and watching the same TikTok videos. You know, they're absorbing the same information about men. So they're all carrying around with them the same misconceptions around men. It's unfortunate, but it's true. You know, the deep protector or provider. Oh, straight provider type. Straight provider type. A provider that wishes he was a protector. The deep is the biggest bitch in the entire boy show. Hey Jason, I've done a lot of cold approaches. Man, these boys drifting. Damn. I've done a lot of cold approaches. But the women always make my age a problem. Any tips? Very simple. One, stop looking so young. I kid. But two, make sure that they know it's not a problem to you. It's okay if they bring it up. It really isn't like a big deal. It really isn't a big deal. When a woman goes, oh, you're too young, you're a baby, blah, blah, blah. Just be like, oh yeah, that's fine. Listen, my ex-girlfriend was your age. Like, how old are you? They'll tell you their age. Oh, my ex was around your age. Like, this is pretty normal to me. I actually can't even deal with women my age. It's kind of weird to me to deal with women my age. I feel like almost a pedophile to do that. So just let them know it's something you're used to. When they know that, they're more comfortable. That's really what it is for them. It's not even like, oh, the age thing. They swear that the age thing is a big deal. Like, oh, I will never date a man this age or that. They don't give a fuck. Like, deep down, they don't care. They don't care. They just want to feel safe. That's it. Let's see. Let's say someone frequently has heart attacks. How would you heal that? Heart attacks, like physical heart attacks. Okay, how would you heal that? Well, put it like this, and this is another thing you have to learn about the human body. The human body is one giant spidey sense in a way, right? It's got its own alarm and alerting system. If your heart keeps feeling the need, because again, it's an involuntary muscle that pumps blood throughout your body. If your heart keeps feeling the need to either pump so fast it fucking, you know, takes you into a heart attack type of thing, or pump so slow you go into some kind of shock, you gotta ask yourself, okay, why does it keep feeling the need to do that? What's triggering for that to happen? Because that is a reactionary thing. That is not something your heart doesn't have a mind of its own where it's just going, I think I'm just gonna have a heart attack now. Like, that's not how it's gonna work. That's not how it's gonna happen. So you're gonna have to ask yourself, what is going on with yourself that's making that the correct response to it? Does that make sense? It's like the same way you approach, going to the gym or something, right? Why do you feel like you have to fall asleep every time you work with this certain amount of effort at the gym, or do this certain type of thing, or eat this certain kind of food? Why does your body think shutting down is the correct response to that stimuli? That's what you really got to do. From there, like, again, it'll depend on you. You'll be surprised at many reasons people have heart attacks. It could be the way they're eating. It could be the way their body feels. It could be a certain disposition or whatever. It could be a mental thing. To be honest, I really do believe most physical elements are mental and psychological. It's people overthinking themselves into that situation. It's people allowing the thoughts in their mind to begin to manifest in their body, because that's the tricky part to being a human. Everything we think and feel, we end up manifesting physically, like we really do. So your heart might just be doing that because it's a mirror for what's going on up in your head. Just finished playing Sunday basketball. Oh, it was a damn good game. Evening, gentlemen. How you doing, Dimitri? What's up? How long do you think it'll take to heal? What are we talking about? Take what to heal? The heart attacks? I mean, there's no set time for any one or everything to heal. Every single recovery is different. Every kind of recovery is different. Physical recoveries take different times. Psychological recoveries take different times. Emotional recoveries take different times. There's no, set time frame for all these things. You feel me? Let's say you can't stop the trigger from happening. Can you still stop the heart attacks, or how? So the heart does that because of the trigger. You got to figure out what's going on with how you're interpreting the trigger, so the heart decides it wants to start doing that. Because again, the heart doesn't do that on its own. It's a reactionary thing, and it's connected directly to your brain and how you're thinking. So what if, and this is, by the way, something you learn in NLP, what if you begin to look at the trigger in a different light? You know what I mean? You can do this with anxiety too. Like, if for those of you that have like pain body attacks or panic attacks or anxiety attacks, do this trick. Let's say you have an anxiety around being in public or talking to people in public. The reason you have the anxiety or the anxiety attacks isn't because you talk to people in public. It's because of the way you're perceiving talking to people in public. It's because of the negative emotions you've associated with talking to people in public. So if you can change that, if you can begin to see talking to people in public as a good and necessary thing, if you can begin to reinterpret pain as growth, right? A lot of you need to do that. Don't look at it as pain, look at it as growth. If you can begin to reinterpret pain as growth, you'll stop shying away from it. All of a sudden, there are no triggers. It's not a trigger anymore. It can't be called a trigger anymore because now you see it as a good thing. You see how that works? It's a framing issue. Exactly. It's essentially a framing issue. Yeah. So reframe it. Reframe it. Yeah, feel me? I imagine game in the first world country and game in the third world country is different, right? No, fundamentally the same. It's the same exact thing. And I'm the best person to fucking ask about that, right? I started it in Nigeria, killed it there, went to Europe, killed it there, came here to America, killing it here. So I'm the best person to ask. The only difference is like the cultural meanings. Again, we're just talking about, the way we perceive and interpret things. Culture dictates how you perceive and interpret things, right? For instance, here in America, height is a big deal. The taller you are, the better. Oh, 6 feet, 6 feet and up, 6 feet, 6 feet and up. By the way, 6 feet only matters here because we use the fucking, imperial system. No one uses 6 feet in the metric system, which is the rest of the world. So 6 feet is not a measure for any other part of the planet. In fact, you have the opposite in places like in the Philippines, where Muay Thai is a massive sport. And in that sport, a massive advantage is to be on the smaller side so you have a better center of gravity. So the women usually are more attracted to guys who have a certain smaller, thicker stature, because it's better to be successful at that sport and as a result climb up the social hierarchy and ranks. You see how that works? So it's not even that, it's different per se. It's just what you use to demonstrate value differs depending on what culture you're interacting with. Hell, even in America, you see something like that. Reframing is easier said than done. So, do it. Who the fuck said it would be easy? Don't give me that fucking excuse. Who the fuck said it would be easy? It's not going to be easy. It's not. But get to it. You want to know why? Because if you don't, you will suffer. Which alternative do you prefer? The suffering you're doing now, or the little bit more of suffering you got to go through to get to the point where you begin to see things differently? Get to it. Get to it. You feel me? All right. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah. I'll give you another example. I'll give you a personal example. In Nigeria, being on the thicker side, like having fat on you, having a pot belly, that's a sign of status. Why? Because the majority of my country is poverty stricken, and because of the natural earthy food we eat there, it's not as processed as the one here in America. It's very hard to gain weight. It's actually very difficult to be in a caloric surplus on Nigerian food. Very, very difficult. You're not gonna get fat off of agege bread and akara and moi moi and dodo. Like, no. In fact, whenever I want to lose weight, I just switch back to a pure Nigerian diet. That's literally what I do, right? Thankfully, I have access to Nigerian family, Nigerian stores and stuff like that here, so it's all good. I actually had dodo literally last night, so good for me. But yeah, it's very difficult to be in a caloric surplus back in Nigeria. So being fatter, being bigger, is a sign of wealth and excess and abundance. It's attractive to women. Having a six-pack, believe it or not, back in Nigeria, is associated with poverty. Very real thing. Any Nigerians in the chat, please confirm for me. It's a very real thing. So imagine the cultural shock and difference when I came to America, and it's the exact opposite. The obesity problem here is massive because, the processed foods and the sugars here make it very easy to be in a caloric surplus. So being disciplined enough to have a six-pack is what makes you valuable here. That's the status symbol. Women don't even know what 6 feet is, except the tall chicks from, exactly. Unless they're tall in the third world, they don't even know what 6 foot is. No one uses feet in the third world, dude. No one uses feet. Everyone uses fucking meters and centimeters. You feel me? Let's see. If the cure to cancer is fasting, what is the cure to bad memories that eat you up? That's a good question. So, again, I would still say the best way to deal with that is reframing. A lot of, it's kind of weird how the human memory works. A lot of the things you think you remember aren't actually how they happened. They're just exaggerated in your mind for you to emphasize whatever emotions you're feeling whenever you remember them. Right? So as fucked up as it is for me to say right now, that traumatic event that happened to you, that you're still holding on to, I promise you, if you were to break down the layers, wasn't even that bad. Wasn't even that bad. If you don't believe me, do a small exercise for me. Try to remember what happened at least 2 to 3 hours before that happened, and what happened after it happened. Right? So take the traumatic event, let's say it happened, it lasted 10 minutes. Observe everything and really try your best to remember everything that happened the 3 hours before that and the 3 hours after that. And then gauge it for yourself, really gauge it for yourself. How bad was it? They like height because it makes them feel safe, but it could be because other women say it's important. Literally. Okay, let's break that down. They like height because it makes them feel safe. And that's true. But here's the thing. Who told them that height equals safety? Because I just talked about the Philippines. Over there, the safest guy to be with is the best Muay Thai fighter, aka the guy with the best center of gravity, aka the guy who's on the smaller side. So for Filipino women, height, as in being smaller, is safety. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. They're just reinterpreting it two different ways. You see how that works? It's very weird how that works, but it's a perfect example right there. Like, oh, women, a taller man is safe. That's in America. In the Philippines, a shorter man is safe. Oh, a guy with a six-pack in America is safe. Well, nope, it's a guy with a pot belly in Nigeria that's safe. You see how that works? That's what Stoicism teaches you. Reframe your events. Right on. Shout out to Stoicism. Shout out to Stoicism, baby. You know the funny thing? I realized after studying Stoicism that I am a Stoic without even realizing. But I learned how to be Stoic from NLP. How ironic is that? Safety is biologically an environment thing, so it makes sense. Yep, pretty much. Pretty much. It's an environment thing, baby. You know, that's why certain women that grew up in certain environments see certain men as what makes them feel the safest. Some women only ever date men that have, done, they've been illegal pharmacists, if you know what I mean by that, or they've been gang members. Why do they date men like that? Because they grew up in an environment where those were the guys you needed to align yourself with socially to be safe. That's pretty much it. It's not their fault. It's not a problem with the culture. Okay, maybe there's part of a problem with the culture and society, but mostly it's just the way she grew up, whatever environment she was in her formative years, right? That's really all women are, if you really think about it. If you want to learn the blueprint of a woman, just figure out what environment she grew up in between the ages of 4 to 12. That'll tell you everything you need to know about her. All her worries or all her fears, all the things she cares about, her priorities, the kind of men she goes for, that'll tell you everything you need to know. Also wondering, smashing TRS, is that a power thing? What's a TRS? I don't know what that is. Smashing TRS, is that a power? TRS? I don't know what TRS means. What does that mean? Also correlates to perceived value. If you know, you know. Yes. Teacher. Oh, like smashing your teacher? Oh, you're talking about why the teacher does it? That was something that confused me for a long time, but there's like several reasons. One of it is like purely primal though. It's biological. It's the idea of fresh sperm for the female teacher. I'm not even kidding. The idea of a fresh batch of newly developed swimmers. That's one. Two, there's a concept of what do the red pill guys call it? I like what they call it. Alpha widows, right? So alpha widows, they're trying to get like their alpha widow deja vu. Like they got their hearts broken by a guy a long time ago, and then that teacher finds a student that's somehow very similar to him. Same emotions re-triggered, right? Can you give us a breakdown on NLP Bay and how to master it? Oof, that is not something I can do in one live. That's a different live all on its own. But I'll see if I can make a video about it without like creeping everybody out. Ability to protect from danger equals safety. Biological value equals, yeah, pretty much. Protection from danger and bad or less than ideal situations. That's what it means. So hypergamy is perspective based then. It depends on how she perceives power. Literally. How she perceives power, which again is directly correlated to how she grew up, the environment she grew up in, and what she was taught to prioritize. All that stuff relates to how she goes into picking men and how she trades up on men. Right? Everyone just like to think of it like simple. Like, oh, it's who has the most money. No. Oh, it's who's better looking. No. It can add to it, but it's never just that. It's a combination of other things. It's who she feels makes her feel the safest when she's being wrapped in bed at night in his arms, because that's how her dad put her to sleep when she was a kid. Or who has the best relationship with their mother, because they don't have a good relationship with their mother and they like a man that appreciates women. Or a myriad of different things. You never really know till you get to know the girl. Can you explain why if he makes six figures, he'll likely cheat, and if he makes more than him, if I make more than him, he'll still cheat? Oh, you're a chick. Okay, that makes sense. If he makes six figures, he'll cheat. If I make more than him, he'll still cheat. This is very simple. Men are cheaters. I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry, my love. Women have been taught incorrectly about the creature we are. That's really what it comes down to. If you give every man on this planet the chance to be with 3 women at the same time, and they all look like SZA, Nicki Minaj, Iggy Azalea, and Megan Fox, they'll take it. As long as you convince them that all those women are okay with it, they'll take it. The reason men have to live this lie called monogamy is because we live in a society that tells us that it's a bad thing. That's really it. Honey, if you just, and this is going to be hard, and I understand you're probably going to call me all kinds of motherfucker and asshole for telling you this. I completely understand. But if you can just get past the whole cheating thing for like 2 seconds, you'll be such a happy woman. Oh, you'll be so happy. Once you go into every relationship, just fully expecting that at some point this man will figure out how to step out, it won't become as massive a betrayal as you think it is anymore. Okay? Because it's going to happen. If he has options, it's going to happen. As long as he has access to another woman, it's done. And now, here's the thing. You will run into a lot of men that tell you, oh, that's not true. There's decent men out there. Those men are not men you want to trust, honey. They're liars. All right? They're weaklings and they're liars. And they'll say and do anything to get you to give them some punani. But me, I get punani, so I can be honest. It's fine. I don't have to lie to you. I don't have any agenda with you. I can tell you the truth. If every man had the opportunity, they would cheat. Regardless, oh, I make more money than, like, really think about it. Oh, he makes more money than you, he cheats. Because, again, the money gives him more access to women. Or, you make more money than him, he feels resentment towards you because you make him feel like less. Because, you know, when women make more money than you, that naturally happens if you don't have good game, you know. Me, personally, I have a few women in my life that make more money than me, and they still all respect me because I have amazing game. But I digress. The point is, he feels resentment for you, and then guess what his amazing solution to that is? Oh, now I'm going to go cheat on her with a woman that makes me feel special, right? So, no matter how you slice it, he's going to find someone to do that dirty business with. All you have to do is remember, though, don't take it personal, okay? He didn't cheat because he hates you. Like, that's the best thing about being cheated on by a man. Women cheat on men because of the man they're cheating on. It's always a reactionary thing. You didn't do this, or you did this, I'm gonna go cheat on you with this other guy. Men don't cheat like that. It could be the best, smoothest, greatest relationship we've ever been in. Another chick that's just as good looking twerks a little bit too hard in front of us. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's the creature we are. It's biology, baby. But yeah, that's pretty much how it's gonna go. Just accept it for what it is. We're gonna do our thing. Do not take it personally. It has nothing to do with you. Here's the only thing I'll tell you though. Make sure you're the most special thing in his life. That is the only fight you gotta fight for. When he tells you or you catch him cheating or whatever, don't ask any other questions. Oh, was she better? Did you this? What? No. Just ask him this one question. Do you love her more than me? That's the only question you gotta ask. Do you love her more than me? If the answer to that is yes, now you got problems. Swing on him, beat his ass, whatever. If the answer is no, you're good. Don't worry about it. That's just his new toy. Let him play with his new toy. Dang, that's tough. Cheating is like betrayal to women. I know, right? But you were taught that. That's not even the correct way to look at it. It's an unnecessary thing women were taught. Cheating is not supposed to be betrayal because men will cheat and still love his girl. It's very normal. It's very normal. Now, me personally, I don't cheat. I just tell the girls that come in my life I already have women, and the women in my life already know that I'm gonna get new women. So, you know, I don't lie. I don't need to lie. Thank God. I don't live in that prison anymore. But yeah, it's not betrayal. I promise you. Like, it's not the same. Like, women, again, it's different for women because of the biological implication of it. A woman stepping on a guy, that's definitely betrayal. Because women don't cheat for fun or for variety or to have other options. Women do it to replace. Men never cheat to replace. Like, I'm never with another girl and thinking about my other girls being like, oh, I'm gonna replace her with my other girl. Like, no, it's just another girl. It's just, she's cool, she's fun, and spend time with her. That's it. That's it. You know what I mean? So don't take it personal. That's the first step, my love. Never take it personal. If he steps out on you, the only question you gotta ask him is she more important to me, more important than me in your life? Yes or no? If his answer is yes, pack your shit and leave. Have the fucking self-respect, pack your shit and leave. If the answer is yes, whatever. Let him go see her like once every 2 weeks, whatever. Put a curfew on him. You can only spend this much time with her. You can't do this with her. You're the main chick in his life. Dictate that side relationship. She can't be seen with him in public. She can't, kiss her for more than 20 seconds. If you want to have weird rules like that, you do you, babe. But again, make sure you establish you are important to him. Everything else is fucking inconsequential. Okay? All right, cool. You got this, baby. You got this. Let's see. Literally, I got a game as a child, but then parents in school, etc., made me feel bad about it. Game makes me feel like the kid gaining confidence. Yes, like that kid gaining confidence, indeed. Because that, like, I'm telling you, we all have game at some point in this life. We really do. But society, women, the environment we grow up in, they all just rip it out of us. It's terrible. Let's see. Hey, what's going on, Profilo? I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been? Too strong to have it. Oh yeah, I already read that one. Damn, I'm just now getting to this. That's crazy. I need to catch up. All right, let me speed run a little bit. I'm trying to reach up the girl at work to improve my steal her from her boyfriend talk. Must it be kind of obvious? Oh, nah, you don't have to make it. Like, this is what you do. You begin to sow doubts into like the strength of her relationship. You know what I mean? That's really all you got to do. Small, tiny little seeds of inception. You're your boyfriend. I'm sure he loves you, but I don't know. If it were me, if you were my girl, go watch this movie. That's a good movie. Temptations. It's a Tyler Perry movie. It's literally a movie about how a guy steals a girl from another dude. His favorite phrase to say was, if you were my girl, I would do XYZ. Go and watch how he does that. That's a good movie to start. Ooh. Yeah, speed up, Pookie. You give an hour-long lecture on homegirl betrayal. Yeah, that's true. My bad. JJK was born. Not gonna lie. Don't jump me. End of season 2 was fire though. Honestly, I had to struggle through season 1. Struggle. Season 2 is where things pick the fuck up. Like, I was so happy when I watched the first few episodes and I finally got a beat on what the hell Satoru Gojo's power actually fucking is. Like, thank God. Whew. Just found your content. What would you say is the best way to digest it? Like, in what order? Very, very, very good question. I'm very happy you asked me about that. Also, welcome to the channel. Welcome to pretty much the thing that's gonna change your life forever. I'm not even saying that to brag. It's just the truth. Ask anybody, they'll tell you. The best place to start is the video I have pinned on the top of my page called The Laws of the Game. It's an entire series. It's here on TikTok. You can also go find it on my YouTube. Type in Just to Pick Up Scientist, Laws of the Game. It is by far one of the most important fundamental things I've ever put out in my life. Right? Like when I die, that shit'll still get played type shit. Like, it'll still be used in lectures type shit. That's how important it is. Go and learn from scratch what the fundamental point of game is and how to view it and how to play it. Go start with that. That is what you need to start with. The laws of the game. I'm saying it again. The laws of the game. Okay? All right. God bless you. Laws of the game first, maybe tension second, and then compliance ladder, I would say self-belief too. Yeah, all that. But again, don't even confuse yourself. Laws of the game first. You can get self-belief afterwards, but laws of the game, compliance ladder, tension, all those ones, laws of the game first. Laws of the game first. You're going to have a lot of fun on my YouTube, by the way. Let's see. Went to the club, talked to 2 girls, asked for IG. Don't know which one is the one I was interested in me. I have IG where I have a photo of my face. Okay, use the IG and find out. Be like, yo, which girl am I talking to? Which one? Can you drop Advanced Laws of the Game after Detention series? After Detention series? Oh, Advanced Laws of the Game. Alright, fine. Why not? I've teased you guys enough. I've tickled your balls enough. Pause. Why not? Why not? Let's see. Check my question above. Didn't I already answer your question? Oh, I missed that. My bad. A girl I'm sleeping with and her attraction fell. How do I raise the attraction again? What did you, again, you got to be self-aware, man. What have you done so far to make her attraction fall? What needy, weak, attention-seeking, validation-seeking behavior have you demonstrated recently? Got to be honest with yourself. Got to be honest with yourself. No more ball tickling. That's crazy. You got to say pause after that, son. Not everyone knows dark game. We need us some of that dark power. No, you don't. That's reckless shit. Don't say that. Jay's thoughts on Love Island. So I haven't seen Love Island. Honestly, it's my girl putting me on all these fucking reality TV shows. We're currently watching the second season of, which one is it called? Not Too Hot to Handle. The Perfect Match. The Perfect Match. And honestly, it's a fucking gold. It's a gold mine for game. It really is. I love these shows. But yeah, let me get done watching them. I mean, it's a bunch of very attractive people with almost no personality, and they're forced to like interact with each other. You know, it's very interesting. So they all have the exact same strategy for finding out if they like each other, which is just overt, you know, nonsense. Bro, you need to say pause. Fair enough. I gotta say pause. But oh, thanks for the gifts, by the way. But yeah, it's wild. I like these shows. I haven't seen Love Island yet though. I'm gonna check it out. You don't know what to write. Like, I don't know what was looking interested in me. Find out. Again, you have to don't get too hype or too concerned about that. Just start talking to these women on IG. Like, literally just be like, hey, which one am I talking to? And then go from there. Hey, thanks for the rose. Pause, of course. I recently gained this perspective that all good and bad events are just necessary events. Literally. They're all necessary events. They're all the same event. Just happening, you know, over and over again in different types of ways, so you can perceive them in different ways. How can I be confident without having the skills to back it up? Self-belief. I have an entire course about that, and I put it out there for free. So go to the link in my bio, click on the link. You're going to see a button there that says, what does it say again? I recently changed it. I even forgot what it says. But you should see something there that says something about initial confidence. Click on that, and then register for that course for free. It's completely free. Okay? Self-belief is the key. Delusional confidence. Self-belief is essentially your gift of perceived value to us. Literally. It's an amazing gift too. I really should be charging a lot of money for that, and I used to. But I thought about it, and I thought about what I wanted to achieve in this game, you know? My legacy. And I realized that's the kind of stuff you got to put out there. You feel me? For time to pass and the curvature of space-time to do its thing. Oh wait, I'm guessing that's a... Let's see. If you let enough time pass, everything makes sense, if that makes sense. Yes. And that's what I love about authenticity. When you're being authentic and you're telling the truth, you're going to be right in the end anyway. You can endure any momentary suffering because you know at the end you're going to be fucking right. It's great. It's awesome. So you gotta learn to side with the truth, not what other people are telling you should side with. You know what I mean? Like, all these things I'm saying, as harsh as they may sound sometimes, in 10, 20 years from now, you will all see that everything I'm saying now is fucking prophetic. You'll see. And I can't wait to that point, right? I mean, I can wait. Obviously, I'm a patient motherfucker, but you'll see. Jace is a legend and a great guy. Everyone charges insane amounts of money for the value he gives freely. I try, man. Thank you for that. Jay's gonna go do jujitsu with glasses. Yeah, I might just show up to the gym like this. Like, hey guys, I believe we're going to be rolling today. Ooh, God, I love jujitsu, baby. Gym, fight, Bible, and speak to girls a lot. Be your true self, indeed. A while back, I had a question about this girl who had me in the friend zone, who was going through a bad time. I cut her off, like you said. She came back asking for help. What should I do? I want to use it to my advantage. I'm not sure if that's the right type of selfish. No, it's not necessarily the right type of selfish, honestly. What does she need help with, though? Let's start with that. What does she need help with? What is the heaviest emotion? That's a good-ass question. Regret. Regret is the heaviest emotion, I think. Regret is by far the heaviest one, because that's the one that lingers the longest and it feels the heaviest. Yeah. Regret. If you're being authentic, would women give you backlash to your face but reward you in private? Yes, they do. And I'm happy you asked that question. I have an entire video where I talk about the same thing. A lot of people don't understand the game they're playing and how this thing works. Women are designed to give you backlash in the beginning, to test your strength of character, your confidence and your identity, and to see if you really are who you say you are. If you really mean this person you're trying to be in public, right? So their job is to shame you and to give you backlash, call you a misogynist, or this or that. But when no one is looking, that's the guy they want to fuck. Right? I've talked about this before, like about Andrew Tate, where he was going through his little media cycle. He got arrested in Romania, blah, blah. And I'm like, damn, he's going to pass his test because he's a strong man. I'm jealous. I'm envious of how much pussy is in his Instagram right now. God damn it. Because that's how it happens. Whenever you go through backlash and you pass the test, instantly attraction goes up. I don't want to brag, but I literally had this happen to me very recently. Those of you that know, you know. Hey, not just in the beginning, this shit never ends. True, the tests never really end, but the tests do change their form as they go, right? In the beginning, it's mostly about your congruence, your identity. In the back end, you still get your congruence test here and there, but it's mostly about, your ability to be well-rounded as a human being. You feel me? What's going on with the glasses, my guy? I'm a scientist. I have to be real, not on the level to understand how to keep two girls still on lower levels. That's fine. And the funny thing is, it's actually easier to have two girls than one. I keep saying that to guys and people don't seem to understand. It's easier to have multiple women than one woman because then you have inbuilt competition anxiety. You don't have to do all that extra work to keep a monogamous relationship going. Because when you're monogamous and the girl knows that all you have is her, then she begins to naturally encroach on your time that you have to use for other things and other people. Does that make sense? She knows there's no other girls. So she's going to become a little more reckless with her behavior. Because she can be. But when she knows you have other girls, she has to be, well behaved. Because she doesn't want to be the girlfriend that's too clingy. You feel me? So it's easier. It's actually easier to have two girls. That's the funny thing. I want you guys to really understand that and have that mindset. But you push to learn, that's good. How can I be confident as a guy trying to pick up girls if I don't? Oh yeah, I did read that one. Let's see. How much is it to talk to you more than once or to be a mentor at all? All the costs of it. It depends on, what you're trying to do with me. Like, I have a 6-month program, I have a year program, and, that runs you a few $1,000s. So keep that in mind. You feel me? It is, an expensive endeavor. Although I do have monthly, plans and stuff for that stuff. So, just hit me up in the DMs. We'll talk about all that. Let's see. It depends on what you're trying to do with me. Pause. Hey, pause, my guy. Pause. I see a lot of people hit on him for those live shows he does with the energy stuff. Who are we talking about? Oh, Anthony Robbins? Yeah, for sure. All right, good, because I already read that one. Richard Bandler, yes, Richard Bandler is the writer of the book I was talking about. Introduction to NLP by Richard Bandler. I think he writes it with someone else too. I forget the other guy's name. But yeah. Did you consciously use the mystery method when you first started spitting game? Yes, I did. Absolutely, I did. That was how I discovered game, really, the mystery method. Comfort is supposed to take long, right? Yes, it is. Read that one. I gotta go soon, guys. I gotta bounce. Yo, just have a problem. I don't have a good or basic timeline, even if it does not exist, for breaking the touch barrier or kiss or dates. You don't need one. Don't worry about that right now. Don't worry about that. Again, you don't have to think about it like, I have to wait a certain amount of time before I can do this. That's not how you should be thinking about it. You should be thinking about it more like, I have to let this happen before this happen. Go and watch my compliance ladder video. Or better yet, just get the interview light. That's a honest to God better way to go about doing it, because it'll teach you the checkpoints you gotta hit before you get to the next checkpoint. Right? There's a list of it, and I give that in the interview light. So keep that in mind. I've already started updating it for a lot of people. If you don't have it in your account quite yet, don't worry, it'll come soon, like literally in days. So the interview gets you from beginner to advanced in only a few weeks, depending on how often you practice. Not a few weeks, nah, but put it like this: it'll definitely get you to an intermediate in a few weeks, for sure. Advanced, well, that's not necessarily what the interview teaches you to become. Advanced is all the stuff when you understand both front end and back end game. The interview light and the interview in general is really for front end. So that's what you're learning in the interview. How to get a girl from stranger to completely incorporated into your life. That's what you learn. Okay? Crazy that you can jump to seduction after 2 to 3 hours in normal setting, not clubs or bars. Literally, yeah. Very easy to do once you understand what you're doing, right? Let's see. The best. Already read that one. Is Hancock a good movie for game? Hancock, the movie about Will Smith being a drunken superhero? No, from what I last remember. No, Hitch is a better movie for game, obviously. You know. Beef with soft guy era? Yes, I've waged war on these soft men, because they're gonna have to prove to me that they actually believe in what they preach. By the way, are you cool with women watching your lives or content in general? Because I do watch sometimes. Oh yeah, go for it, baby. You're good. I don't mind that at all. A lot of it overlaps too, by the way, so it's all good. I just don't coach women personally, though. I don't. But watch the content, baby. Watch the content. Watch the lives. You're all good. Speaking of, where the hell is Megan? I haven't seen her in a while. What's Megan up to these days? I'm gonna go hit her up, see what's going on there. Actually, I haven't replied to her last message. Let's see. How to get over approach anxiety with a 9 or a 10. Very simple. Walk up to a 9 and 10 and be like, I just wanted to come over here and say you might be the most beautiful girl I've seen in the last 20 minutes. And then walk away. And then just do that 20 different times. It's overexposure. That's really the answer to your question. It's overexposure. The best way to deal with anxiety is to desensitize yourself to it. So exposure therapy is the way. Okay? Let's see. What for? Okay, I'm guessing you reworded that incorrectly. What do you use? Huh? I have no idea what, like, that's just, I wish I was trying to make sense of it, but nah, that's too much work. Let's see. What's the biggest lesson you learned about the game approaching so many women on the streets? Biggest lesson. It's all in your head. It's probably the biggest one. It really is all in your head. And it's one of the laws of the game that I talk about, the law of expectation. Whatever you expect to happen is essentially the feedback you're going to get. If you assume good feedback, you'll get good feedback. It's very weird how that happens. I always say this to women. One of the best ways for a man to learn, and obviously I say it to women because women understand, like, you know, manifestation, the law of attraction, all that good stuff. But I'm always telling them, one of the best ways you can teach men, because I know this particular chick that teaches like that kind of stuff. One of the best ways you can teach men to use the law of attraction and the law of assumption and manifestation and, you know, the law of attachment and all that kind of stuff is to tell them to go and approach a lot of women and expect good things to happen. That'll teach you about the law of attraction a lot faster than anything else. You can manifest a good interaction a lot quicker than most things. I'm not even kidding. It's all in your head. Once you realize that, oh my God, it becomes so easy. It's really all in your head. You feel me? Let's see. Definition of provider. I'm understanding that by saying use, you're saying compliance, and I'm right in this judgment. Pretty much, yeah. Utility and compliance are pretty much the same thing as far as game goes. I'm never telling a woman I'm looking for a long-term partner because I ain't. Beat and delete. That's funny. Are these laws really true or just a manifestation of your confidence? They are really true. They are really true. Because it can't be just me, you know. I didn't come up with the laws because of just me and my experience. I also use other people's experience and anecdotal evidence. Right? If something works for me and other people at the same time, surely it's not just my confidence doing it. So they're true. They're true, and they're proven. That's the best thing about the laws. That's why I compiled them the way I did. They're proven. They're laws that I've literally been able to prove over and over and over and over and over again. They're consistent as the fucking law of gravity. They're true. What's the biggest difference in pickup when just getting numbers and getting a real text back? In terms of like the way you're interacting with her for the first time, it's really what you do to solidify the number in the back end. But also, and you do something you have to catch in yourself, it might be your neediness. Because when I tell guys, go and just talk to girls without asking for anything in return. Don't ask for the number, don't ask for an Instagram, just go up, say hi, come back to me. It's very easy for them to do that. But when I go, okay, go and try to get her number, all of a sudden they get stiff. Because now they know they have to ask for something. And men feel a lot of guilt, because again, society and the environment put that in you, feel a lot of guilt around asking something of women, right? So the irony is you get things better when you approach it like you're not trying to get anything from them. In fact, approach it like you're the one giving them something that's a lot more valuable than whatever they can give you in return. That's how I see it, really. But when I give you guys mindsets around, like, you know, assume you're the cure to her cancer, that's what I mean, you know. I doubt them. I look into it more. I'm wondering if it's connected to, let's see, gynocentrism. Like, hold on. What are we talking about here exactly? Like, what's connected to gynocentrism? What did we talk about recently? You mean the laws? Nah. What? Nah. Impossible. Impossible. Fucking impossible. Let's see. Damn, that's crazy. Unless she's the one. I've been wondering why it feels like girls are so... Oh, yeah, I read that one already. Alright, guys. I gotta go soon. I pretty much gotta go now. If she's giving you all positive signals, then she don't give a fuck about your age. Pretty much. How to stop women from lying to you? Impossible! The best way to, if you really want to try, is to just let them see over time that you're not the kind of guy that they can get away with lying to. Which is an entirely different skill on its own. But for the most part, women are always going to be lying to you. Right? My thing, though, is this is how I tell you to see it. Make sure the lies they're telling you are positive lies. What I mean by that is, there's only two kinds of lies women will tell you. Lies that tell you when they don't respect you, and lies that tell you when they do respect you. Does that make sense? You want to be receiving the lies they tell you when they do respect you. That's pretty much it. It comes off as lazy, like, oh wait, hold on. So besides neediness, is there anything you can do to get more quality leads? In terms of like getting the numbers and stuff like that, honestly, it's the volume. If I had to guess what most of you are lacking in, it's just the volume. Start talking to more girls, honestly. The volume is the biggest part for most men, honestly. It comes up, oh, god damn it, Genghis Khan game. No. Let Dimitri have his fucking shine. Dimitri, retag your thing again. Let me see what you said. It comes off as lazy, like the leverage laws to get this outcome. Women can be lazy at times. The laws themselves are lazy? Is that what we're talking about? I don't see what you mean by that. Because the law, like the entire point of that law, by the way, is that you always have to have some kind of psychological position advantage over her, which is true. Like, I don't care if you know the laws of the game or don't know the laws of the game. Every single relationship that forms because the woman thinks the man is better than her. That's not a matter of opinion or, you know, how lazy one party is or the other. It's like, it's literally just the facts. You know what I mean? All right, summarize for me. What do you think about the stories where after 10 years of marriage, the woman becomes bi or leaves? That's just the man that's been emasculated for 10 years. That's really what happened there. It can manifest in many different ways. It can be the woman becomes bi and leaves, or lesbian and leaves, or she starts dressing up her male children as girls, or she starts having a midlife crisis. Like, it manifests in different ways, but it all points to the same thing. Over the course of 10 years, she was able to slowly, systematically break him down, emasculate him, and now he's no longer the leader of his household. That's really what it is. Can you please make a part 2 of Frame? Sure, why not? Obviously, that's gonna have to be after the advanced laws. Ended a relationship of 8 years. Now the mistress wants to take the starting position. Having trouble navigating this. Do you want the mistress to take the starting position? Or do you just want the old bitch back? Like, it's up to you, man. The only problem, if you want to call it a problem here, is your decision making. Do you want the old girl back, or do you want the mistress to take over? Up to you. Up to you. The laws of the game is real. My issue is the law of manifestation. Oh, I see. It would seem to be popular. Okay, so, all right, let's talk about the law of manifestation. Manifestation is a real thing. What's not real is most people's understanding of it. The law of attraction is real. What people always seem to leave out of it, right? Conveniently leave out of it. You know, the book The Secret didn't do any favors with this. But what they leave out is the law of resistance. The law of resistance works in tandem with the law of attraction. And that is that when you try to tell the universe at large that you're trying to get something, there's gonna be some kind of resistance pulling you back. The universe has to, like, you hear people talk about you have to vibrate on the same frequency as what you want. You want to know how the universe knows that you're vibrating on the same frequency? It's putting you through a test to make sure that you are. That's how it happens. That's how it works. But whenever most people talk about the law of attraction, they never talk about that part. You know, amongst women, I think it's because they can just be a bit lazy. You're right. A lot of women understand the law of attraction incorrectly because, you know, they're lazy like that. And you know, for them, especially beautiful women, the world really is easy for them like that. But in real life, the law of attraction works in tandem with the law of resistance. That's how it's supposed to work. You're not supposed to just want something bad enough and then you see it in your life. No. If that's how things happened, I would think of a pink elephant and I would have a pink elephant right now. That's not how it works. There's a testing phase. There's a testing period that lets you actually prove your worth to the universe, that you are actually vibrating on the frequency of which whatever you want is. You know what I mean? That's how it works. Interesting. Jace, can you do a detailed breakdown on this? Sure. I have to at some point because people don't know this. I'll probably make a video about that shit tomorrow just to like make sure, you know? So yeah, for sure. But yeah, I gotta go now, guys. I love you guys. I'm sorry for like the other 100+ messages I didn't see. I am so sorry. But I'll try to keep, you know, all that in check next time. I'll be back on live If I can't make it tomorrow, then I'll be here the day after for sure. Probably not tomorrow. I'm super busy with some stuff I got to do with my girl. But yeah, Tuesday I should be back on live. I'll see you guys. For all of you that are new here, I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate you for coming. You're gonna love it here. You're gonna hear a lot of stuff that's gonna break your heart, but it's gonna help you in the long run, I promise. I believe in giving bitter medicine. It's gonna be bitter at first, but it's gonna make you feel better, okay? All right, go check out all my stuff. Go watch the laws of the game. It's on my TikTok, it's on my YouTube. Go register for my free course called Self-Belief. And while you're at it, if you want to learn how to completely incorporate new women into your life, please go and get the interview right now. It's all those links are in my bio. It's my personal dating system, and it's pretty much the best dating system on planet Earth because it gives you the step-by-step on how to check certain, how to go through different checkpoints, how to get to those checkpoints, how to cross them properly so you don't regress, go back in stages and stuff like that, and how to do it in a smooth enough manner so that you remain and maintain the frame as you go. Okay, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for all the love, all the support, all, you know, the likes, the views, the shares, all that good stuff. I appreciate all that. But I'll see you guys later, and don't forget, do with all this information what you must.